trying to talk to Mayor Mamdani is like trying to talk to the IRGC, okay? This guy is a terrorist. That's the bottom line. I'll say it. You don't want to say it. I'll say it. He's a terrorist. He's a jihadist. He hates the Jewish people. He hates America. He hates the Italian people. He hates the Irish people. He hates the German people. Unless you're Muslim, Mayor Mamdani has no use for you. He is a horrible person and maybe has perpetrated the worst American and Jewish hate in the history of this country. Those two people stabbed the other day in the Upper Side of New York City, that blood is on his hands. That blood is on your hands, Mayor Mamdani. We got to find a way to get this guy out of here. Maybe Dr. Naomi Wolf is right. Maybe that election wasn't what it looked like on paper. Maybe he really didn't win. But either way, this guy is the worst thing to happen to New York politics, maybe in the history of our state. He's a lowlife.
I mean, I think you may be a bit over your skis in labeling him a terrorist, and you're probably going to get flagged for that.
Why? Let me ask you this,
because New Yorkers elected this guy.
Who cares?
They knew everything about him before. Like, this is predictable. You talked about predictability. This is a predictable.
Griff, let me ask you this. The Hamas guys that are in Qatar right now, they've never put on an explosive vest. They've never shot anybody. Would you consider those guys terrorists? Because I would. Okay, so his ideologies are in line with the terrorists. Mahmoud Khalil is a campus terrorist. You don't have to kill somebody to be a terrorist. You have to share the ideology. That's what this guy is. He's no better than the person who actually goes and shoots somebody because he respects that person. He likes that person. That makes him one of them.
I think I want to run for mayor again. I can't believe the amount of support I've gotten the last 3 days. It's like overwhelming. It's like 95%. I've never had that. I've had a million controversies, a million. I'm always on the right side. Well, not always, but. And usually it's 50-50. This is 95-5. Thank God for you, Sid. You're a hero. So I'm thinking about it again. Abraham Hammer is one of my favorite people. He's listening right now, and he's tried to deal with the mayor and that anti-Semitism group of his, I guess. I don't know, some sham group that doesn't really exist. And that's another bogus. But I had a nice conversation yesterday morning on my Sun deck with the aforementioned former congressman, my friend George Santos. And I love having him on the show, so here he is. Georgie, good morning, buddy. How are you?
Hey, Sid, how are you? I got to tell you, it's always great being back with you and then the audience at WABC. But I have to say, I don't wake up early on weekends to watch TV, but I woke up early to watch your segment with Fox and Friends because something told me, something deep down inside when I saw it on X that you were going to be there. I said, I'm not going to want to miss this live. And boy, was I right. I mean, look, I've fair share of controversy, fair share of TV heat in my life. Yeah. I think goes without saying. But when you start poking and saying things like you said, and the people who are criticizing you are Alex Jones, Kyle Seraphin, and like, you're kind of on the right side of history, my friend.
I swear to God, that's what I said, because, and this is not the Mamdani part, because don't forget there were two parts that exploded in my one appearance on Saturday. The Iran conversation, which is what George is talking about right now, and Mamdani. So it turns out that, yes, Alex Jones did a whole show on me yesterday. General Michael Flynn Jr., Joe Kent, Glenn Greenwald, Kyle Seraphin. These are the biggest traitors and losers and anti-Semites. How do I know that? They describe me, George, as Israel first. What do you mean, Israel first? Israel first advocate, Sid Rosenberg. I'm America first, but you bet your sweet ass I'm Israel second. We've always been that way. That's the way it should be, no?
I don't disagree. Look, my record speaks for itself, and I'll say this. The interests of America are well represented right now in what's taking place in Iran. This is a country who has literally chanted death to America for decades. Since the 70s, their entire existence is based on death to America. So to say that taking them to task and decimating their leadership is not America first is just plain simply misguided, uninformed, and people who say that lack a decent amount of sense of foreign policy. And that's it. International relations is not for everybody. Hence, it's an entire course in college for people to grasp it around their head. The facts of the matter are, look, we're fighting a war that we don't want to. I agree. Nobody wants to, but we have to. It's an evil necessity. I hate war. I have a record of being anti-war in almost every vote that I took in Congress. But this is one that I think is unfortunately much needed, and it's about due time that we take on the devil in Tehran once and for all, so that Iranians can be free. The Iranian people want to be free. And also, I guess Americans want to be able to transit globally in the Strait in the Middle East without the fear of the Iranian and its proxy terrorist organizations. When it comes to Mandami, you're damn right he's a terrorist. And to be a terrorist, you don't need to be a murderer. You just have to share in the ideology, and I concur with that with you 100%. A terrorist and a murderer are mutually exclusive things, and I think he is a terrorist. He shares terroristic ideologies. And I think that the governor of New York, whether it's Kathy Hochul or Bruce Blakeman, should both pledge to remove him, because the Constitution of the state of New York allows the governor to remove a rogue elected official in any part of the state. And Mandami has become beyond rogue. He's hostile to New York City. He's hostile to the financial economic engine that New York represents for America, because when a third of American wealth and a third of the American GDP run through Manhattan Island, and you have somebody like him there, it becomes a national security issue.
That's why George Santos belongs back in politics, folks, okay? He apologized, he made a mistake, and he belongs back because he's so smart. And, he's done all that, Mamdani. He's done all of it. You've been around a lot of politicians, George, and again, you did serve time in Congress. Is it hyperbole? Is it too much to say that this guy is the most dangerous politician you've ever seen? Because I can tell you this, if God is good to me, I'll be 60 in April, and he's probably the most dangerous politician I've ever seen.
So in my lifetime, obviously, I'm 38, and I've never seen somebody so reckless and so callous towards the American people, and quite, adversarial to the United States Constitution. He literally has made statements that are contrary and in contradiction to everything we stand for as a country. But this is something I'm going to say, not very popular, but we have to stop allowing people who come from god-awful corners of the world. This man comes from Uganda, a country that literally not just kills people they don't believe in, but they literally murder their LGBT community. They literally completely demoralize their women. Their women are literally frustrated in their country. This is a man who comes from a country with a deeply troubled ideology, a country I actually took aim at in Congress by writing bills to defund our foreign aid to them, that at the time I was there, I think we were sending $17 million to them for all sorts of nonsense that was probably going into the corrupt politicians' pockets, because it's a corrupt nation. So you have to look at it this way. Mandami is not only just a threat to New York City, he's a threat to America. He literally unseated two regular, and that's a stretch to call Dan Goldman regular, but regular Democrats, and placed Marxists. And he's proud of it. Yeah. And Hakeem Jeffries is thinking that he's going to control these two members. He thinks he's going to have a chance. They literally chanted, "You're next." He's next. He has 2 years. Hakeem Jeffries has an expiration date in Congress, and that is 2 more years. So I think Mandami is a threat. I think we need to address that threat accordingly. And I think Kathy Hochul, whether she win, or Bruce Blakeman, whether he win, God bless, I think, God willing, both of these people should have the testicular fortitude and the political strength to remove this dangerous man from City Hall and Gracie Mansion.
Well, Bruce would do it. He's hesitant. I've asked him that question more than once on this show. I'm going to see Bruce tomorrow. I'm speaking to his summer interns. My son is one of those tomorrow. I talked to Bruce. I'm not exaggerating, George Santos, 3-4 times a day. And he has said that, he would look into it. He's hesitant to remove somebody who won an election. But Kathy's never going to do it. Kathy's a Democrat, and all these Democrats who like to throw around moderate Democrats, they don't exist. There's one. His name is John Fetterman. He's not even a Democrat at this point. He's a Republican. They're all scared to death of Mamdani and all these DSA candidates. Nobody more afraid than Kathy Hochul. So this wicked witch, this wench, this repulsive hag, she ain't going to do nothing. She ain't going to do dick. She's going to, in fact, vote with Mamdani.
It will be her demise. It will be her political demise.
I hope so.
She might win this race. She'll live to lose another. And that's it. Because I speak to regular, everyday Americans, New Yorkers, Pennsylvanians, you name it. Friends of mine who are Democrats, actually blue dog Democrats, are voting Republican because they're terrified of what is happening in the Democrat Party today with the DSA infiltration and this uprising of quite flat out Marxism. This is not socialism like, this is not democratic. So this is flat out Marxism, and they want to take over and fundamentally change everything that America is about. And I won't stand for it. I don't think most Americans will stand for it, because if you think America isn't great, then why the hell did you leave your hellhole of a country and come here? That's always my question. Why did you come here if it's such a bad place?
That's such a great question. Georgie, I love you. I'm glad you called in this morning. I got to get you on more often now that we talked. I got to keep getting you on because I think you're terrific. I really do. So
I love you, my friend.
I love you, too. You're great, George Santos. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Sid. Have a blessed one.
You, too. I do love that guy. George Santos, former congressman right there.
Thanks for listening to Sid and Friends in the Morning. You can hear Sid and Friends in the Morning weekday mornings at 6. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?